so we went to South Africa.
Yo. Check it. It's a YouTube video. Subscribe.
You know we're going to use that.
I had an out-of-body experience.
Passed out, how'd I do?
How'd I do?
Not well.
Loz and I had the most amazing experience thanks to Nikki Arthur PR and the Wild Collective of going on safari. We didn't quite feel safe enough to have our camera out in Johannesburg, which is why our past blog post doesn't have any footage, but finally we were able to get the camera out without the risk of crime and people stealing stuff.
So our first safari of the two was in Hoedspruit, which is very, very hard.
Well done.
That was a good one, actually.
Hoedspruit.
Hoedspruit.
I reckon it took us 2 weeks just to pronounce that right.
Yeah, it was a difficult place to pronounce, but it was in Hoedspruit, and it was at a reserve called Thorny Bush River Lodge. It was an incredible place. We had to drive out there, obviously, and it's right in the middle of nowhere, really. You are literally in the bush. No fences, no gates, nothing to protect you from getting attacked from animals. I mean, there are monkeys in your shower.
This is the pep talk I had before we go on safari, so I was already feeling scared. Then it gives me this pep talk that there's nothing to protect us.
I mean, when I say nothing, we had these, and I don't know if you know this, but I was ready to, fight a predator with my bare hands. And not bare hands.
Bare hands. These
Human
are
hands?
Bare fighting hands.
Yeah.
You just putting your makeup on, making sure that when you see the big five, you're looking your best?
Yes. I'm more doing this for the pleasantries of everybody else in the vehicle, because it's 5 a.m. I'm really quite tired. And I look tired. So I don't want people to have to look at this face.
God, thank you for being so polite.
There's generally a typical day at Thorny Bush has 2 safaris. So you've got a dawn safari and a dusk safari. And when we say dawn safari, we were up at the crack of dawn.
Oh, it was tough getting up so early, so many days in a row, and also staying up late because, you want to have dinner, you want to have some drinks.
You're excited, you're on holiday.
It takes a toll.
You're not going to bed early.
It takes its toll.
Yeah, it does, it takes its toll. The amazing thing about the Thorny Bush Reserve is that the suites themselves are in the middle of the bush, and you need, for safety, a porter to pick you up from your room to take you to the main house, which is where you go on safari. Lawson had a really interesting chat with the porter. What did you ask him?
So you're our porter, but what are you going to do to save us if a leopard, say, comes to attack us?
He told us this amazing story about how he had been walking guests home and that he didn't notice when he was taking them to their room, but on his way back to the main house, a leopard had literally been right near the path.
Used to shine the light, and then I find them just laying down close by the pathway.
Oh, jeez. All right, well, I'm glad we've got a porter then to look after us.
Shall we go on safari?
Let's go on safari.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
When you're about to go on your first safari, you walk up to the van and you get introduced to your guide. Our guide was Dan, or as we called him,
Dan the man.
Dan the man.
He was he was the man. He knew everything.
He knew everything.
Things that we need to run through with you guys. It's very important that when we do come across a sighting, please don't stand up. Because often when you stand up, that scares away the animal because it breaks the outline of the vehicle. The animals see the vehicle as one object, and when you stand up, you break the outline, you make yourself visible, and obviously the animal gets a big fright and runs away, which we don't want. Otherwise, just keep your eyes open, watch out for animals. You're welcome to stop me for anything, and you're welcome to ask questions about anything.
Great.
Cool.
All right.
Let's go. guys can do some damage here. A big male like that. He weighs 100 kgs.
Really?
Yeah,
Solid.
a fully grown sort of female hyena will be able to chase down and kill an adult wildebeest by herself. So they're serious hunters. In Zimbabwe, in a reserve called Hwangi, there's massive clans of hyenas there, sometimes up to 30, 40, strong. And these hyenas there like to hunt baby elephants. He's a bit lost. Doesn't know where he's going.
drunk. Go home.
Big night last night.
I feel you, buddy.
Okay, so this is one of the buffaloes that has died because of the drought we're experiencing at the moment, which is about the worst drought that we've experienced in about 50 years.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the buffaloes are struggling because there's not enough food, there's not enough grass for them to eat. That's the main reason. Water is not such a problem. There still are pans in the area that they can drink from. It's purely the problem of there's not enough grass. So you'll see a lot of dead buffaloes around and a lot of buffaloes that are looking very skinny. Yeah.
We were told an interesting story about how apparently it's common for people that go on a holiday, they can form this love affair with their guide. So we were told that the term is called kaki. So it's called getting kaki fever when you fall in love with your guide.
Not to be confused with bukkake fever, something completely different.
Don't confuse the two. It will get messy and inappropriate. But I think it is fair to say that both of us got a little bit of kaki fever for Dan the man.
So yeah, you can see these are the paws over here, all heading in this direction. You can open that up. So basically, the easy way to tell a hyena from a leopard or something like that is to look at the back of the pad here. You see how it's got two lobes at the back. So it comes down like that and then like that. So the leopard or any other cats, lions, so on, will have three like that. And go. And then also if you look carefully, this one's a nice one. You can see the little claw marks. That's also another sign of dogs, hyenas, mongooses, so on. And the cat's got their retractable claws. So they pull those back in and you don't really see those. So this is obviously from last night. Very fresh over all the tire tracks. So and you can see the edges of the track are still very sharp. They're still very pointy. So as the wind blows, it'll slowly dull the edge of the track. And then you can say, okay, it's getting a bit older now.
A big animal that we were dying to see was the lions, and we were fortunate enough that we did get to see these lions, which were completely asleep and allowed us to drive right up to them.
He's not that young. He's probably about 8 years old, 8, 9 years old.
He's big.
He's in pretty good shape.
Sorry?
He's in very good shape.
He's in excellent shape, yeah. I mean, male lions usually at about 5 years old, that's when they take over pride. Usually at about 7, 8 years old, they get kicked out again.
So we've got some lions here,
There's such a
and there are these Nyala over here that have no clue that lion is so close. So we're going to hope for a kill.
Useless lions there.
Death was just knocking at the door, innocently just walking by. Do I admit this, but we secretly wanted the lions to wake up? Is it odd that I wanted to see a kill?
No. Well, do you know I was telling someone about that, and they thought it was weird that I said, "Oh, why did you want to see that?" But in the animal kingdom, that is a natural part of life, and one of the most exciting parts you would think to witness. And even though it would be pretty full on, like a very hectic thing to watch, it was something that I did want to experience while we were there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen for us. We're sickos.
I wanted to see the full circle of life. Being a midwife, I was also obsessed with... There was a lot of pregnant animals too, and I was keeping my fingers crossed for a birth.
So you can help.
I wanted to jump out and just
I wanted you to jump
have my
out too.
time to shine. I was obsessed with wanting to see a birth as well. So it wasn't just the death, it was the birth, it was the whole circle of life.
One of the best parts about this safari, and especially the dusk, the afternoon safari, is that halfway through you stop, set up camp, open up some food, snacks, and pour yourself a beverage and watch the sun go down. And it sounds like quite a simple thing to do, but really was an enjoyable part.
You get to meet the people in your
It's a chance to communicate and meet people and sort of talk, but it's also a chance to discuss what you've literally just witnessed. And it is something really special. There's something really special about seeing the animals in their natural habitat rather than in a zoo. You know, there's a zebra just chilling. He's just kicking it. Like, that's his life. He was born, he's lived there. He doesn't know what a fence is.
No. I think it's a great chance to officially meet the people in your car. I mean, you're chatting the whole way anyway, but they got to learn about us and what brought us to South Africa, and we got to learn about them. The Sundowners is also the time where you go and find a bush toilet. So literally a bush toilet is the bush that you
Pretty
pick.
self-explanatory.
The bush that you pick to use as your toilet. In the beginning, it's kind of like, well, I would like to protect my modesty, so maybe I go a little bit deeper into the bush. But the further into the bush you go, the more the fear arises that, what animal am I literally going to bump into? Because when you're driving, they come right up to the car. So there is nothing to protect you while you're going to the toilet. You really are exposed. And it is the fastest and most nerve-wracking pee experience, apart from maybe peeing on national television.
I think the best thing for me is that I don't even need to find a tree. I literally just had to turn my back to the car. The whole place was my bush toilet.
Yeah, the boys definitely had an advantage. It was a little bit harder for the girls. But an experience nonetheless. I'm a better person for it.
For winning in the bush.
For fighting fears.
Oh.
I had one toilet experience where I was at a tree that wasn't too far away from the car, but mid squat.
Were you pooping or?
Lucky I'd pooed, because this experience would have made me shit myself.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. I hadn't pooed. I was just doing a lady tinkle, and I could hear the footsteps of an animal that was literally getting closer and closer. It sent this sheer panic, fear through me. What do? I can't identify what this animal is. I can't see it, but I know it's coming towards me. I've got to wee as quickly as I can. I'm running back to the car while trying to do my pants up, but as soon as I was in sight of everyone, cool as a cucumber, like nothing had happened.
Yeah, except for the noise we could hear of you. Oh, there's something coming!
Kat, why have you got sweat dripping down your face? Nothing scary.
Must have been a hard poo. That's what we all thought. Struggling to get it out.
Damn it, I should have told them what really happened.
Sequoia,